Rob Vasquez here, Cap Combat Sports. Joining in is Fight Hop Podcast also. And today we have our special guest, John Manimal Beneduce, Bellator Featherweight.
Wait for
Uh,
it. Wait for it.
ah,
Wait for it.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I just always wanted to do that.
You working?
I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to do
Animal
that.
training camp guys, be out here. Wait, you're gonna be hearing that? You know, that is like actually got me like training for my last fight. Really, it was over the course of 2 camps because
Okay.
I had a fight that got canceled February 2019. I made weight for it and everything.
Ah,
I wound up fighting. That fight at the Garden was June.
June.
So I really, essentially, for that Garden fight, had
And that you're referring to Bellator 222, where you won at the Mecca of Combat Sports, your last fight.
that was my last fight that I had.
Your last fight. Awesome fight, man.
14th on my wife's birthday.
Ah, what a way. That's some stud stuff, man.
I mean,
I know.
put more pressure on that.
Yeah.
The gods are interesting. You said before this, they put me in a weird spot to do what I need to do, but I love it. It is.
Yeah, it's a challenge, but it's something that you overcome, and I think it makes you, well, fighting out of Brooklyn, New York, I'm really not surprised.
Yeah, you said I don't fight a lot, but you don't know what I go through in the hood.
Bro, I was born in the hood. I already know.
On stage, this is performative combat. That's why I said this is like ritual. Because Brooklyn, you get fucking killed any day out here.
Yeah, true. That's true.
My neighbor,
that's a fact.
they found a body in the pier, so I don't go in the ocean and just get the energy of the earth. I do love my neighborhood because it's a little ghetto.
Yeah.
There's a little ghetto beach that no one goes to except for me, my wild ass. There's a wild park.
That's where you go in the water?
That's where I go in the water. And I go in there all the time. Guy's out there fishing one day. He breaks his line. All right, he comes back the next day with a sturdier pole. Guy pulls a body back in there. So there was some dead body for like weeks.
Oh my God! Wow.
So
Yeah, but that's
what I go through all the time. Good thing I didn't step on that shit.
Damn.
That's why I'm not worried about coronavirus personally. When guys ask me, I'm like, I go in water with dead bodies. I think.
Yeah. You think your immunity is like way up there. Sick shit, right? So shit. That's funny. You're a BJJ black belt, 2nd degree on the Matt Serra BJJ, right?
Yeah, no easy accomplishment. I've been
No.
So my martial arts life is varied, as you could tell. So, but I've been training jiu-jitsu for the better part of 2 decades, mostly with Serra and the Renzo Gracie fight team.
Gracie fight team now. Renzo Gracie.
So when I first started in 2000, maybe Renzo Gracie had a school in the city, and Matt and Rodrigo Gracie and Nick Serra would teach like afternoon classes, or a couple night classes. They had all just gotten their black belts, I think in 99. So maybe the year before I started, Rodrigo and Matt got their black belt.
Right.
And they opened a school together in Valley Stream. That was the closest to Brooklyn.
Exactly.
I used to go there for jiu-jitsu. I started originally with Jeet Kune Do. The owner of Budokan MMA in Lynbrook, Nardu. That was like my original crew. There was a spot in Brooklyn. Him, Ralph Mitchell, Philip Nova. I don't know, Philip, if you ever seen him. He was on the Ultimate Fighter 8. Old school. You have to remember, my first career, I turned pro in 2003.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty old school. But I don't have a lot of fights because I had a 10-year layoff. I really had a lot of life in between. I hurt my shoulder, had that replaced twice. So
yeah,
it took me a while. And then while I was recovering, I fucking got involved in other stuff. I opened a gym. I had a CrossFit gym for 5 years in Bayside.
Jeet Kune Do. My bad.
That was my first start. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeet Kune Do is like Bruce Lee's original style, right? It's
right.
It's like short range striking, right?
Yeah.
Sure, it was a lot of short range striking, Wing Chun.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So I do a straight blast still.
Yeah.
But really, my instructor Ralph Mitchell was more of a kickboxer, so he really did a lot of kickboxing. I'd say we did more Muay Thai when I first started there.
Right.
And Savat, he also liked Savat, a lost art really in America. Savat, the French style of kickboxing. So Jeet Kune Do was really like an open palette, and I love the philosophy of it because Jeet Kune Do, and this is why I like CrossFit when I did it too. It's like the MMA of martial arts. Because in Jeet Kune Do, you even had more than just unarmed combat, stick fighting.
Right.
I got my sticks right here.
Ah.
I'm also.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got the sticks.
Yeah. Don't they have a Philippine martial arts that uses sticks a lot?
Hey, you think you could demonstrate that last one again? Like maybe about 200 times on that guy over there?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I should do that. How about this, bitch?
Yeah.
Because it's comedy to me.
Yeah.
It would be highly funny. Like I just did that.
It's a sparring dummy. I have to ask you.
I'm gonna put a mask on him. My own face. My own
face. Yeah. Oh my God. So that's like your alter ego.
Yeah.
What the?
Listen, about the styles, Bobby. Before you move on to the next question, I had this kind of a different question that I've never heard anybody ask anyone, right? And I think I thought of it myself, but maybe it's not original. But I'd like to give it a shot. Like, say for example, like everyone had rabies, and when you go outside, everyone's got rabies, and you can only take one discipline, one combat sport discipline. What would you take to survive out there?
I wouldn't take jiu-jitsu, even though I love jiu-jitsu, right? I love jiu-jitsu, right?
So you're taking jiu-jitsu, right?
Wouldn't in that situation.
Right.
What would I take in that
Close
situation?
quarters.
Everyone has rabies?
Yeah.
Can you kill these dudes just shooting them in the head? Because then I would just be really...
No. You got to take a combat sport discipline.
Oh, what would I take? Then I would take sword and shield.
Sword and a shield.
Yeah, I do medieval martial arts also.
Yeah, I've seen M1 Global do that.
So I would
That's crazy.
Shield. Yeah, I would take
weapons.
Yeah, then I can
weapons.
Really good. So first I get the sword. I got a nice 3 feet. Look, this is Damascus. See the pattern in there?
Yeah.
Blade folded 512 times. So I would take the sword. Hold on. I got a shield too. I'd show you how I fight.
Shit.
You got me hyped now.
Cap combat sport with the shield, right? Bobby?
Yeah.
Cap combat sport.
Yeah, with the shield. That's why. That's what I'm saying. But I'm telling you, man. Oh, I gotta see this. This is nice. I love shields. Oh wow.
This I made, right?
You made that yourself?
This I made, yeah. This is 3 feet. It's multi-layered wood. I made the grip in here, narrowed that down, anchored it in a cross.
And what about the pattern?
The pattern, I just kept it simple. Just the black and red. Steel boss. Leather reinforced edge.
Wow.
Awesome.
So this is good because you can both smash someone in the face with it, bang, open them up.
Yeah, I guess in that type of situation, that'd probably be the most
So if I had to take style, right?
Effective.
Good answer.
Stab,
safe.
Boom, and I'd feel pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
This way.
Yeah, you don't have to touch because something like that would be.
Don't touch me.
Don't touch me. John, I have a question for you. And
oh,
nice.
Hold on.
You can take the battle axe. Also.
I see you.
Oh wow.
I see you throwing those, right?
Yeah.
You're good at throwing those.
It's good to probably carry. In the apocalypse, I'd probably like a shotgun, and then
something distance.
Shield.
That's the God of War right there.
You better believe it.
The latest one.
Full axes. I keep 2 hand axes to throw. Right, one of these jobs. So to throw, I'd keep this on me.
Right.
See something little?
Oh, that's a smaller one.
A nice little tomahawk.
Nice.
These on me. bang to throw. The pick is nice too.
Yeah, it's quick.
So, let's add one more thing into this question. Which breed of dog are you taking to the war with that sword, shield, and axe? How about this one?
Standard size poodle would be a very good dog because very easy.
Standard size.
Standard.
Hey, this one's only 3 months, man. It's only 3 months.
My favorite dog. I've had dogs my whole life. The Manimal's dude. At one point, I had like 13 animals. I'm down only to my dog and a bunch of cats. But
yeah. What about sugar gliders?
The dog question. I want to get back to that. So my favorite dog I ever had was a Shiba Inu. But she was too little for me to take it to the apocalypse. Really,
Is that Japanese?
That's the little Japanese dog. If I could have a pack of dogs, I would take a pack of Shiba Inus because they're fearless. They're fearless. They will kill. I mean, they have balls too big. They're bear hunting dogs. Those little dogs. So 6 of them go and wake the fucking bear up, bite him in the face, grab his balls, and then they run away from him. And here I am with the shotgun, boom, in their face. So
the axe.
Boom. Well,
so it's a team effort.
Well, but they're fearless. Like they'll do their part 100%. No fear of anything.
That's what's up.
Noise, so if I had a pack, if I had one dog, the best single dog I had, Cane Corso. I had this dog Brutus.
Oh, they're huge, right?
$140, and he was calm, nice. One day I'm in the hood, and you know the dudes with like the wagons, just like collecting scrap, came up to me quick. The guy just moved to me. 1 second, he's on top of the guy, the cart on top of him, in between the dude and Brutus. All on him, fucking red eyes. I was like, Brutus, get back here. He just looked at me. He's like, fine, boom, and got off. He was.
So he didn't see the dog or what?
He came up to me. I don't know what he was coming up to me for.
Hey, if I saw that dog, I'm not going nowhere near you, man. That's a huge dog, right?
Huge, $140.
Yeah, and they only come in black, right?
Brindle. He was like black and brownish. Brindle. Yeah, beautiful, jacked.
Italian dog, is it?
Yeah, he was jacked. That would be a good apocalypse dog. I'd even put a little armor on him. I put a little armor.
A hound.
Put a little armor on him too. He'd be so badass. I think about the apocalypse a lot. I'm a big end of the world guy. It's part of my religion.
Have you seen the new movie with Gerald Butler?
No.
It's kind of like apocalypse because a lot of asteroids or meteors. I don't know which one that is. Yeah, it's a good movie though.
Be ready. It's coming. There's a lot of activity around us.
Yeah, there's a lot of craziness. I was about to pull it up, but I did see the movie. Hey, John, let me ask you something. Tell us about your transformation and what motivated you.
Interesting question.
That, right? I don't know if you've seen that, Georgie, but
yeah, I do. Yeah, I want to ask you about that. Yeah.
So, growing up, I never really was athletic. I was like really fat. I mean, I really just like to fucking hang out and smoke weed, really, which I still do like to do, obviously. But yeah,
just at a higher level.
But I was scrappy. I was scrappy. I did grow up in Brooklyn, but I was fat, and just because of that, probably won a few fights just based off that. Although got my ass kicked a few times too. I got my jaw broke once. I got jumped. Listen to this.
Oh, you can click it. You click it, right?
Yeah.
You click it.
You can't line it up.
You ever see those guys again after?
No.
Yeah, they better hope not.
I bet they saw you and they're like,
I wouldn't have remembered either.
Probably not.
Because I did get knocked out. So I remember coming after I got jumped. I remember coming to, and I was in a different neighborhood. Somehow I had walked to the next neighborhood from Canarsie to like Flatbush or something like that. You know what I mean, Rob?
Definitely.
Yeah, so I had been scrappy, but high school, maybe I lifted, but I failed gym class every year in high school. Because I went to Brooklyn Tech, and Brooklyn Tech had a standard for everything. Gym class, you had to run a mile, and it wasn't even that fast. I think it was like 8:34, something that I could probably just jog off right now. I could probably do it right now in the snow, 8:34, and like nothing in my boots and shit. Right.
Right.
I remember as a fat kid, I was like, "Fuck you, I'm not running."
Oh shit!
Family, and I took it in night school. Night school, all you had to do was show up at Canarsie, right up the block from me.
Right.
So I did that in night school, and then in college. So a couple things. Listen, you know when you're getting fat. I remember, people make fun of you all the time. I was always the fattest kid. But dude, I remember I had a fat ex-girlfriend, and one day, listen, it's hard to videotape yourselves fucking in 1998, right? You got to get like a VHS camcorder. George, you remember?
Yeah. Yeah, I had one.
All right.
The camcorder.
Yeah.
So,
and the screen comes out on the side, and you can flip it.
Yeah. So, man, I videotape us banging, and I was like 260, and she had to be about the same. I was like, oh god, I gotta get my life right. We're like two hogs fucking over here. I was like, damn, this is rugged. I was like, I don't know if I can handle this. And I started slowly then being like lose a little weight. Like I was mindful of just like eating.
Right.
And then I had met for MMA training. Maybe I had lost like 30 pounds.
Okay.
And
that's already a lot.
Yeah.
Already a lot, yeah.
Substantial, yeah.
So I lost.
That's what I need to lose right now.
I lost 30 pounds pretty quick because you have to remember, the bigger you are, more weight is less a percentage of your total body weight.
But then it gets way harder.
The closer,
then it gets way harder.
Yeah.
Right.
Closer you get
to
being like single-digit body fat, exponentially more difficult. It's like the Richter scale, like an earthquake.
Yeah.
An earthquake, a Richter scale, let's say a 5.
Okay.
Magnitude, a 6 magnitude is not 1 times more, it's 10 times more powerful. So to get from, let's say, 150 to 145 is maybe 100 times harder than to get from 260 to 230.
Okay. Yeah.
I've always hated numbers, man. There was so many numbers for me. I got lost.
I was on a little thought experiment.
So during that transformation, right? When was the Manimal born? When was Manimal born? Before, during?
Scrappy and like
good question.
Wild.
So it was before that.
No, but my nickname. So
not just the nickname, but the Manimal itself, not just the name.
It's kind of like all together, right? Like it takes time to recognize.
So it was in increments.
It was a process. It was a process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm not a lifelong athlete, and to feel good and feel like a savage, like I'd say right before. So I was training with Rodrigo Gracie and Matt Serra together in Valley Stream,
right?
And then I think they had split up and got their own schools.
Mm-hmm.
Rodrigo's in Lynbrook, which was closer to me, and I would train with both of them equally, and in the city with both of them too. Because I remember them both wanting to give me my blue belt, and Rodrigo gave me my blue belt first, and that was like, I wanted to get Manimal. I wasn't Manimal then. Just crazy.
Can you have 2 blue belts?
No.
Like,
right? So I used to be Crazy John, because I was always crazy, right? Like I once lived in like a fucking tent in the woods, for like a month. So I was always like really crazy.
Which makes you an inspiration to a lot of different, broad spectrum, and different categories, man. You're just
mental health is definitely a factor.
Yeah, definitely.
It's taken me a long time to just deal with my own mental processes, and I think that we talk about mental illness a lot. And maybe I have a degree in psychology, so my undergrad degree is in forensic psychology. So I used to work with the criminally insane. There's definitely a lot going on inside our consciousness that is difficult for most people to grasp within themselves. And I think the struggle for identity and our own identity is what causes a lot of friction in ourselves and then with others. We struggle with our own identity, and then if anyone presents something different than what we think is our identity, it can instantly trigger us to have animosity towards that person that brought something up in me that might have
Exactly.
Made me question what I think, which I love debate. I remember in school, didn't we used to do debate? I don't think we do that anymore. Like you pick out of a hat,
Yeah.
sides of the issue.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm pro weed, you're anti weed. I might go anti weed. We might pick it out of a hat, and I got to argue that. I'll be like, it impairs your judgment. So there's like I would take the counter argument, even though that's not what I believe.
But how do you feel about the use of marijuana?
I love what I'm smoking right now. I tell you what, I don't.
Yeehaw.
So can I actually have a well thought out process.
Yeah.
I've been smoking since I'm like a kid. Since I'm like 11 or 12 years old, I got to be a pothead. From a young age. Mary Jane, that's my first girlfriend.
Mary Jane's your first girlfriend?
Mary Jane's my first girlfriend, yeah. So I can't lie there. She'll always be my main squeeze. Any girl that tries to come between us,
they got a problem. Oh my God.
No, because I can stop smoking. It's just that then I'm a dick.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's a way to lead into like stronger drugs? I mean, I don't really think marijuana is a drug, to be honest, but
I don't think so personally. Even like I don't really even drink. I prefer to smoke weed than drink, and I think alcohol is a way harder drug than marijuana.
Absolutely. Man.
Oh yeah.
People do some stupid and crazy shit on alcohol.
As you say, oh yeah, oh yeah. That'll take a toll.
What about fighting when you're high? Like,
so here, I'm gonna explain to you. I don't smoke. First of all, you get drug tested as a fighter, so you can't be high at the fight. So I always knew that. So I never train. Not never. I'd say 99% of my life I train.
Keep it separate.
99% of my life I train sober. Weed is more for me for recovery. I'm not crazy about training high because I know I'm probably not going to be able to perform high. So I don't do anything. You know what state-dependent learning is, right? State-dependent learning is that you want to mimic, right, the state that you learned in as closely to the application as you can. That's why you practice basketball on a basketball court, right? You want to have a regulation hoop. You practice cage fighting in a cage. You want state-dependent learning. Now, when I'm in that state, I already learned in that state. I'm comfortable there.
And you'll perform at your best there, as opposed to being.
If I'm training how to fight in a cage and now we're fighting on the beach, there might be different techniques. What if I get sand in my eyes? What if a certain move doesn't work? There could be considerations there, right? So if I am going to fight sober, which I'm pretty sure I'm always going to have to fight sober, I always want to train sober. Unless it's just I'm caught out there one day and I'm just like not taking it that serious. But in camp, I usually don't because I need to be a dick. And not smoking, my natural personality is highly aggressive.
Okay.
So when I don't smoke, then I can really be an asshole.
That's your that's your default mode, right?
Yeah, I'm a little hard, Thank God.
Welcome to the club.
Thank God that nature provided weed so that I did not wind up a psychopathic killer.
You mentioned something which is going to lead me to this. What is the Manimal Camp? Speaking of camps,
we were training camp. We did a couple of steamrollers actually over the last summer. Once it gets nice out,
exactly.
Big camps up there. I like to get a good mix. So, and for people that might not be lifelong athletes either. I tell you what, my demographic really is like 40.
That's me.
Yeah, I mean, I know what it. See, most athletes, most guys. Listen, you see everyone's story. They've been fucking training since they're 8 years old.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
really didn't train
athletics since I was a kid.
Yeah, so they don't know any different. I remember what it was like. I remember my first day training, dude. The shit was like a 2.5-hour class. It was like that Taekwondo school was like mad old school. And they would do like an hour of conditioning and then like 45 minutes of like kickboxing and then like a half hour of jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
It was intense. I feel like the first time I ever trained, I spent a lot of time in the bathroom. I definitely probably half in the bathroom.
At that point, had you already transformed and lost a lot of weight when you had that?
It took me like a good 15, 16 months to get down to like $170.
Okay.
So were you training while you were losing the weight as well?
So I probably started training martial arts at about like 230. But I gotta say, like the first 2 weeks I trained martial arts, I think I got down to like 215.
Let me ask you something.
Like I lost weight again quick from adding that in. Because I was just like lifting and doing like a little shit.
How'd that affect your power, like your strength? Because you were heavier before.
I mean, I like to think I'm strong.
Yeah, I think you're strong too.
I feel strong, especially when I use all my strength. Like, listen, I don't want to. If it's a match in the gym and I got to do 10 rounds, I'm not going to use like 100% of your strength. That's kind of retarded. But like, I think when I can exert all the pressure. Plus, I have a background in lifting too. When I had my CrossFit gym, I did strongman training. I love that shit. You know, I do like to lift. I mean, I really would like to even lift more. It's just you get so sore, and martial arts training to be sore, like deathly sore during it, is not good. So like I want to save my highest intensity for my sport. So I'm not, even though I like to lift, I can't sacrifice lifting so heavy that I can't sit the next day and sacrifice my martial arts training. Whereas if I was just, when I was just lifting.
You could.
All right, today I don't care if I can't do jiu-jitsu. I'm not doing it anyway. I didn't do jiu-jitsu for like 4 years, I think. When I didn't train martial arts for like 4 years. And then when I closed my gym, I was heavy again, actually. I was like not as heavy as I was before, but I got up to like over 200.
Oh, wow.
I think as heavy as 206. And I was like, I gotta fucking look at myself over here. I was like, just go back to training. Just like go back to jiu-jitsu. You know, I missed it. I really did miss it at that point. It was fun, but I'm not much for a structure kind of guy.
Yeah, you do your own thing. That's what works for you.
Yeah, and I ran a good gym, but I didn't know what the fuck I was doing out there.
A question: what combat sports or MMA podcasts do you listen to?
Or non-MMA as well.
I like Anakin Florian.
That's a good one.
You just started, so we'll reserve you. Let's see. What non-fight specific ones do I like? What do I usually listen to? I like the Strong Coach. This guy, Mike Bledsoe, he was an old CrossFit guy. He has a lot of good coaching on it. I like Kyle Kingsbury's show. Of course, Rogan. You know, everyone loves Rogan. So.
Yeah, Rogan.
I haven't listened to him lately. Lately, I've been doing a lot more books on tape. So lately, I've been doing a lot more of that because I'm driving out to Huntington. So it's a lot longer.
Yeah.
I knock out some books.
Gotcha.
Like one fiction, one nonfiction.
Gotcha.
I'm on, what am I on now? Marine Sniper. That shit's sad though. It's about like the highest recorded killing sniper. But he getting killed when he comes back home, just like at the range. Some crazy dude shot him. It's fucking wild.
Is that fiction or is that real?
It's a true story.
Right. Is that the assassin guy, the bald guy?
He's he's a sniper. Yeah.
They made a video game on it. What's it? The Hitman. Is it the Hitman?
But they made a movie on him too.
Right.
So yeah, what the fuck's his name? Now I'm like, you know when sometimes you try to remember something.
Does it? What did he work for the Italian mafia?
Hold on.
The mob.
And his name ends with a SKI, something ski. Is that the guy? No, must be another guy. But yeah.
Hold on, I want to. Chris Kyle.
Chris Kyle. Another guy.
That's the American sniper.
Yeah, Chris Kyle.
Like the highest confirmed American sniper.
He passed away, right?
Dude, he got killed at the fucking range. I
remember that.
Him and his boy in 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't put it together, and then my wife was like, "Oh, that shit is so sad." And then I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "This is sad." All the shit you go through in war, he doesn't get killed.
Yeah.
Comes home in America, he gets shot at the range.
Yeah,
Fucking
it's
wild. The
irony.
universe is ironic.
Yeah, I
I
was
don't
just
know
saying
if
the
that's
irony
humor. I
involved.
think the universe has a really good sense of humor. It's
Up.
just that we take it personally because we're conscious. But the
Wait.
universe has a great sense of humor, and if you don't think it has a sense of humor, you definitely can't argue. It has the best sense of irony. Oh, it loves
That's a
irony.
fact. That's a fact. Oh wow. Speaking of podcasts, you have a podcast.
The Manimal Zone. Yeah, I'm only like fucking 35 episodes in. I'm still trying to figure it out, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, we talk sometimes, and
I'm at Manimal John for all your 7 followers.
mhm. You're about to get a bunch more, brother. You're just getting started, man.
At Manimal John, okay, everywhere. At Manimal John on mostly I do Instagram. I like Instagram. YouTube, I'm trying to get into. I'm not the greatest at it, but Instagram is the best place to follow me. I've been doing Telegram. I like it. It reminds me of old AOL, but there's only like 20 people
Oh,
on it.
okay. Oh, I get you.
AOL.
Like
AOL, Merc
AOL.
Online. Weesh.
if you
Yeah,
get,
that was
you know what
old
I
school.
want to do on Telegram? I just want to have a 200-person animal training camp group, and then for them, give them all like training content. Because I mean, my whole goal is to level everyone up. Like, even though, of course, I love combat, that's more, uh, personal process. My process outwardly, I want to fucking take someone who's like kind of a scrub. I don't want to call him a scrub, but something in the rough, and then put the work in that no one else really could see what's there. Like I can do work that's like anyone could take the guy that's an 8 or a 9 and turn him into a 10, a champion. I could take a 2 and turn him into a 7. I can make a lot of movement there. I could even turn a 2 into a 10. But it would take a lot of work. I don't know if I would that work. I'd have to be willing to do that.
Yeah.
As long, but really, you could take a 2 into a 7, and that's like my specialty. If that makes any sense.
Yes. So
like, that's where I came from.
Yeah.
Even the 2 into almost the 8.
So that would allow you to give these young fighters, these up and coming fighters, advice from a certain through a certain lens. Obviously, yours that would, or what advice would you give someone getting into the sport, MMA?
Oh, I mean, I know this might sound weird, but you have to be great at something. Everyone, listen, is it good to be well-rounded? Of course. But the key to success is actually to be pretty good at everything.
But great at one thing.
Great at one thing.
Exactly.
I think that's the model for most champions. Who usually come from a background. Wrestling usually. Right? I'd say that's the most common background. If not that, then it has to be kickboxing like Israel Adesanya. You could always go there.
Oh, yeah.
You want to know where you want to live and die. You have to have a place in your martial art where when you go there, you'll live and die there, and that's okay. So for me, I'm a grappler. If I know, I will take it there, and that's where I'm willing to live and die. Right.
Gotcha.
So if you're a striker, right, that has to be where you're willing to live and die in that zone. So you'd have to be, and then you could have a mix, right? You can be great at a certain style too. But yeah, I think it's important to have a specialty. Like I believe in my jiu-jitsu, even if the guy thinks he's better at jiu-jitsu than me.
Yeah. What's one myth about the industry that you'd like to expose right now?
That we
or debunk, should I say?
We're fucking broke. Fighters don't get paid much. I don't know. I mean, compared to other professional athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of factors that go into that. It's not necessarily always the sport's fault.
Do you think it's like something where certain athletes should speak up more, or it's just like promoters? Or
I'm going to tell you what I think the base of the problem is with getting it paid on par with NFL. That's what I would love to see. What do I want to see? I want to see my boys be getting $3 million for a fight. Right?
That's what's up.
That's pretty common.
And what's helped is certain fighters have helped that. Yeah. But I'd love to see that.
MMA is a draw. not based on the individual. Because the problem with fighting individually is you can't do it a lot. It's like meteors crashing. It's like fucking planets colliding.
Exactly.
You can only do it so much. You can't be like, yo, I'll see you next week. It's like, all right.
Right, like they play week in and week out.
Yeah.
With MMA, you can't do that. Right.
No. It's not like football. Like I'm gonna play 16 weeks.
Right.
It's like I'm gonna fight if I'm lucky 3 times in a year. If I'm lucky, not me. I never fight them. My best is like every 3 years.
When is your next fight?
Might be sooner than I think.
What happened? Did you burn the sauce? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't have anything solidified, but I am in talks.
But you have something coming up. Okay.
It looks like Bellator is supposed to do a press conference today.
They're coming back in March or April. I saw that. They're trying to come back in March or April.
Hopefully I'll get something that suits the will of the gods on that. I think I'm ready to suffer. I think the time for battles here again, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, so, that's what's up.
And in the meantime, it's I don't know. I mean, I just there's a lot in life to explore, and now I've actually been training pretty good. So Corona, set it back a little bit, but I'd say since like the end of last year, I've been back to training pretty well, pretty regular.
Okay.
For all the pros.
That's all right. I remember. We did an interview on Steamroller the other day. I remember you telling me you guys had a place over here to train at, right?
So at those camps, the ones by Steamroller, we do. That's just a day camp, and I find it great. We get 8 to 12 people usually, and then we do a little mix. So we do an hour and a half of a little fitness test. Teach everyone how to do the basics. I believe the basics carry the day always. And a lot of people...
An assessment.
I like to do a little assessment of the basics and teach them how to do the basics in a more beneficial way for them. If you are decent at the basics, I think that's half of what you should be doing, especially for general fitness. Push-ups, sit-ups, burpees, squats, kettlebell swings. And then I've been loving the steel mace. So then we do about an hour of steel mace workouts because the steel mace is also essentially a barbell. So we teach them 9 essential movements with it.
I'd like to mention too on your podcast, he does some beautiful demonstrations, nice, great, awesome workouts, nutrition, a lot of there. Because I follow and I always watch him, and we appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? And we're gonna be training soon. Just remember, I don't have the same tolerance as Henry.
Oh, okay, got you. So you're saying if you're not tapping, you might be unconscious. Let go. He's like, if I'm not tapping, I could be asleep. Just let go, please. Stop. Just
gotta love you, brother. Gotta love you, man. There's no one else like you, brother. And
be like the world's most interesting fighter.
I like to get not only the other questions, but like the mind and the heart, like the human being, the ups and downs, the ins and outs, the person. I mean, we see what you do. It's no secret that you strangle somebody. You know what I mean? You probably go home with the arm. There's no secret. There's no secret. But you come in with the hammer. They already know it's hammer time. They know what can happen at any given time. No secret.
Trying to think what I want to come out with next. So I already have my weigh-in suit, tiger stripe.
Yeah, I've seen that. You worn that before, right? That was a leopard or a tiger?
The last one.
Now, a leopard, right?
Tiger stripe, orange tiger stripe. And I want to come out with the hammer. See, Stormbreaker is Marvel, so it's not really honoring the old gods, but it is cool for the Marvel stuff, for the Marvel Thor. Or I could come out with the hammer and the Raven banner, like Ragnar Lothbrok comes out with.
Ooh, after he died, I quit watching. I quit watching Vikings after he died, man.
After he died, the show's not as good. It's still
That's
good.
what I'm saying.
The cast is great because the cast is so good. They could really make anything good. So
Yeah, I know, but
great.
like
She's great.
there was too much time in between the seasons, and when he died, I lost the interest a bit.
But the first 4 seasons
Oh yeah.
is really, to me,
Oh yeah.
some of the best. Oh yeah, it is some of the best.
So it was the English that killed him in the end, right? It was the English, right?
And then Ivar and his brothers come back and kill King Aella, and they do Blood Eagle him. That part in the song is that is the way it goes. He gets killed, but what you don't realize is when he gets killed, there's a myth. I also have a degree in history, right? So I went to Brooklyn College for my master's in history. So there's a myth that our ancestors were very short-lived. This is not telling the whole story. If I tell you someone has an average life expectancy of 35, you might think that if you went to that time, everyone's dying at 35.
Exactly.
That's not what that number means. Average is a bad way to look at it. Until the modern era, there's a lot of infant mortality. What we became very good at in the modern world is taking care of infants. Mm-hmm. In the ancient world, they even don't name babies for like a while, right?
They didn't know if they were going to live.
And that was totally normal for them, right? Don't judge that. That was the way infant mortality was. They didn't have a great system for that. Everything else, if you made it past infancy, you usually would live to like 70, right? Barring accident, which anyone can die of at any time. In any way.
Of course.
Or like the Spartans, they put you out with the wolves. See if you survive.
If you survive, you live till whenever. Leonidas, the battle of
King Leonidas.
I love that.
King Leonidas, Spartan king.
Yeah. How old is Leonidas at the Battle of Thermopylae? You know?
No, man. No, I don't.
61.
61?
61. He's 61. Think about this. He needs to die. He's like an old warrior.
That's the honor is to die in battle.
He's like
the honor is to die in battle.
He's like, I've been king. He's like, I'm old. Like he could have lived to whatever. Socrates kills himself at 70. Right? He
drank the hemlock, poison hemlock.
70. Right, and jacked. You ever see the death of Socrates? Jacked. These dudes live long. So Ragnar, when he dies, is 76. He's out fighting at 76. Gets captured. Listen, he got caught slipping. He's 76. It happens. Imagine your fucking grandpa out there with the sword and shield, killing motherfuckers, and then he winds up getting captured. You're like, Grandpa, the fuck? He's like, fuck these guys. I got to go out swinging. And then what does he say? Oh, how the little piggies will grunt when they hear how the old boar suffers. So he did a venomous snakes, and the little piggies, his children, come and fuck everything up. So, and destruction is what brings rejuvenation. So it actually winds up pretty good for the Sons of Ragnar. And they all wind up being relatively famous. You could trace a lot of Italian ancestry to Bjorn Ironside. He winds up in Sicily for about a decade. Sicily, southern Spain. He loves that area in the Mediterranean. He gets very rich out there. Then goes back and retires. So after season 4, Georgie, the series is not accurate.
Exactly. I totally agree. But what about? Okay, my bad. Carry on. My bad. I was gonna ask you about.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna ask you about why the Norse mythology and why not the Greek mythology or the Roman mythology.
Good question, because as far as religion goes and faith, everything is just a way for us as really small parts of the cosmos to understand the bigger thing we're a part of. And what the gods represent, and all religion, is us trying to relate to these energies that are found in the world. The energy of love, of hate, of war, of life, of death, of sex, of everything, right, has an energy form that we're trying to relate through our spiritual practice. If that's Christianity, right, Jesus is a God of love and compassion, and he embodies these things. And to get to those things, those concepts that we're trying to embody and get our energy to vibrate like, we have to do certain things. And me as a follower of the Odinic path, to get that energy, of, and that's the energy I seek to cultivate. That's why, because I love it. That's the energy that calls to me. It doesn't matter the gods you choose. It's the gods that choose you. So, what energy is there, like, are you vibrating with? And when you feel what energy you're vibrating with, you just vibrate. You try to really align it, vibrate in sync with that energy as much as I can. Of course, I can't do it all the way, but I'm doing my best out there to try to honor the gods and to try to get my vibrational energy as close to embody that energy of wisdom and battle and transformative experiences as possible in my own living body. So that's what I'm trying to do out there.
You know what? I feel like you are really philosophical, and I feel like I could chat with you like a really long time, and I think like we can get really philosophical. And obviously, you're really educated as well. I mean, seriously, I'd like to ask like a question,
History buff too.
more about this. Like, do you believe in actual like Valhalla, or is it just a symbol for you, or like do you literally believe in those?
So if you think about things energetically, especially if you've taken any types of hallucinogenic drugs, there are all different types of realities you can wind up in.
I'm in China. That's my reality.
Have you experimented with that?
Yeah, I do, like on occasion.
Is the toad?
You ever do the toad?
No, but the universe has been telling me to do a little DMT, so I'm gonna have to take it up on that this week.
Wow.
So, I was a little nervous about it, and then I thought that's good, because every time I'm nervous about something, it winds up being a really powerful experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, man.
Anyone who tells you they don't get nervous before fighting might be a psychopath.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. If you don't get nervous before a fight, I was telling someone, I said, you gotta be crazy.
You could call it something else. Guys like to call it excitement.
Anxiety.
I'll have dreams where
Freddy fear.
I'm nervous, and I tell my corner, I'm nervous, and they're like, we're not, and I'm like, that makes me more nervous.
Yeah, Jesus, thanks. Man, this is a great interview, and where so
on the astral plane, I usually like to go to the Helix Nebula. So if you're an astral traveler, find me there. If not, at Manimal John in this world. On the yeah.
And there's other realms like Valheim and somethingheim.
So to travel, so there is a whole discipline of shamanic work that goes along with the spiritual practice of certain religions, right? So there's a mystical tradition for most religions, right? The next step to most religions have a secret practice. Like for Muslims, they have like a Sufi tradition, right? If you're Jewish, Kabbalah, right? There'll be a mystical practice. So for Norse pagans, there's a shamanistic part. And then Odin has his own magic system built into his philosophy. So the head deity of the Norse pantheon, Odin, is really a god of transformative experiences, but he brings the written word in the Proto-Indo-European language to that area of the world. So the Proto-Indo-European language is everything that all the languages in Europe and Russia stem from. So if you look at our
not Georgian though. Not Georgian.
No, it's true. It's not a Proto-Indo-European language.
Georgian is not an Indo-European language, right?
Not a all the Proto-Indo-European languages, Latin, German, French, all those are Greek,
Slavic,
right? Georgian has what script is Georgian from? Is it its own?
Well, it's his own thing. It's called the Kartvelian group. It's a Kartvelian group, right?
Understandable. So that's pretty cool, even in its own right. So I wonder if there's a mystical tradition for your life.
Did you know that Georgia is included in Greek mythology?
You're what, the Hyperboreans?
No, Jason and the Argonauts.
Yeah.
You know that one?
Yes.
The Golden Fleece?
Golden Fleece, yeah.
Yeah, that's in Georgia. Jason goes to Georgia.
He goes to Georgia.
take the golden fleece from the Georgian king Ayeti, and Medea, the daughter of Ayeti, goes with Jason. She's like a witch doctor.
And then he fucks her over, right, and leaves her on the island.
Yeah. But there's versions to that. There's versions to that story. I have a listen. You gotta let us call you on. You gotta let us call you from Fight Hop, man. Man, okay. I love talking.
I'm down. I love to talk. I mean, I like to expand my knowledge, you know. So it is very fascinating to see the different perspectives people take on the same thing. And that's where we, I think, all get into trouble. We have different perspectives on probably the same thing. And trying to navigate to this point is difficult, because if I'm here and you're here and we're trying to tell each other how to get here, we're giving each other wrong directions. If I'm like, go right, who's right? Stage right? My right? Wind up kind of getting...
Who's on first?
Who's on first? Yeah, what's on first? You know, they don't make comedy like that anymore.
Oh, they don't, man. I love that. I still watch it.
I take a lot of inspiration from Rodney Dangerfield, personally.
Oh, yeah.
My comic icon. I feel like that for MMA. No respect. Just...
I think, yeah. I was just about to say that. Those who don't know, Rodney Dangerfield, one of my favorite comedians with the no respect. Oh my God, he even had a song that came out in the '80s. Yeah, wow.
You know, even he talks about we had similar childhood experiences, me and him. Like once, you want to talk about when did I become a manimal? Well, my mom, when I was a kid, you know, we went to the Bronx Zoo together, and they were like, "No, we don't want him back." So.
A manimal. It says, what is he, a manimal? What's wrong with this guy here?
That thing is kind of weird.
He's a manimal. What the?
So hold on. I didn't get to the manimal. So I'm in a match. Wait. So I'm training. I'm wrestling with someone. Might have been Jerry, this kid Jerry, and me and this other guy are two like very bull fucking short jack dudes, and he gets me in a choke. And I'm like, and I get out, right? I'm like, and I turn it around and fucking, you know, twist it on him, right? And Hadrigo's like, man, you're like a little man animal, like a little manimal. And my boys, they're like, oh shit. They're like, that's it, right there.
Manimal. And it's stuck. That's good.
He's too good to be Crazy John anymore. Yeah, you can't, you can't have, you know, a guy this good just be Crazy John. He needs a different nickname.
One more question, but then I'll end it, because I know that where you train, do you know of any upcoming some fighters from your team that we should be on the lookout for? Oh, yeah. Especially if they're training with you, Beast, a manimal. Sheesh.
I hate to name one or two guys at the risk of leaving anyone out.
Yeah.
Can you say not guys currently in the UFC?
You can say that.
Let's say
the guy you saw last. The guy you saw last.
The guy I saw last.
Yeah.
Him who's going to be. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Who did I see last night walking out? Who was the last dude? Pumi?
Pumi. He's got a title fight, right? He's got a title fight.
Yeah, Pumi's really good.
Yes.
You gotta watch out for him. Yeah, he's good. He got all the skills, man. Good wrestling.
He's good at everything, and he's super fast. He's super fast. Yeah.
Dude, I was training with him for my fight at the Garden, because Ray's like, you know, cut the ring off on this guy, and you'll cut the ring off on anyone. And
we're talking about Ray Longo to Don again.
I think he helped Marab train for John Dodson.
Yes, he's a perfect man. He's even faster.
Yeah.
Better than Dodson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's fast, like sparring wise. You rather spar Dodson almost. He's not as high volume as fucking movie. Fucking ripping body shots too. He's good with the body shot, the left hook to the body.
Yeah.
And he knows when to mix up the takedowns. Pumi's very good. I mean, he's probably the one to look out for. And he at 125, he could be a champ at UFC. I mean, I don't see why not. He has good ground skills. We'll get his jiu-jitsu up to black belt level before he knows it. You know, what does he need? Another 4 or 5 years. By the time he is, you know, in his prime, 29, 30. He'll be a black belt, great wrestling. You know, shit. I mean, that's crazy. What I'm
Sky's the limit. But you have but you have that opportunity to be a part of that, growth, to be a part of.
Yeah, I don't really do that much though. I mean, I can't. I'm focusing mostly on myself. I mean.
Yeah, but I see some of the training stuff that you do when you're teaching these guys, man.
I help whenever I can. You know, I'm always.
I'd say you are already a part of it.
Yeah, and the humility, because you have a humility about you. Yeah, you do. I do. Yeah, I'm gonna come. I call it like I see it. I call it like I see it. I mean, you have that other side, but the fact that you just say, "Well, I focus on me," you help out a lot of people. A lot of people, man. And
I hope I do. That's good.
Yeah.
I hope I do. Shit.
Yeah, man.
Yo, Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby, before we end this, we gotta get the Manimal's pick for Usman versus Gilbert. Burns
versus Burns.
Yeah, Burns. Yeah.
Tell me about that. How do you go to the gym the week after that fight? Because they're both on the same team.
On the same team. Because Usman, he moved his, he went to another camp training with Henry Hooft, I believe. Yeah. So now, what happens after that?
Yeah, you come back to the gym and they cheer one guy and
boo your ass, the fuck out of here, get out of here.
I'm right next to him. You both walk in together, and they're like,
I don't know, man.
Yeah, man, we're gonna share a meal together. Hey, it's a fork.
Hey, what's up?
I don't know.
Like, what if you knock that dude out? Like one of them.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Listen, if they don't have an issue with it, then why should others have an issue with it, right?
That's a good point too.
It's a good point.
If they don't care, why would anyone?
And I imagine they take some time off after that fight.
Yeah,
they won't be going to the gym. That's gonna be a war.
Yeah, because it's business. I know some people who won't do it, but it's business.
With someone to fight them for real, because it's like in training, like I said,
you hold back. It's for a purpose.
You got to catch the guy once. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That shot that in sparring with the headgear on and the big gloves you shrugged off.
You won't.
It turns your head and you're out.
Exactly.
That round that then you whooped his ass, you never had.
Yeah. Off switch. Doop.
Yeah. You know what it feels like when you fight? You take all the safeties off. It's like I don't know if it's Star Trek, but you're in the holodeck and they could set it to like very dangerous. So I feel like that's what fighting's like. It's like they take the safety settings off. It's like now you can really get fucked up. Like, oh, safety settings are off. Got you. Don't get fucked up.
Hey John, before we end this, my man, we gotta meet up someday. Have a nice meal together. What's your favorite food?
You guys going for Georgian, man. Stop that. Stop that.
I can't tell you what my favorite thing to eat is on the podcast.
We'll find out when we do that, all right? We'll eat a little something maybe over there in Brooklyn, maybe maybe out here. Yeah, man. I love the sense of humor. I love the stuff with Henry.
All right.
I love all that stuff, the mace work.
I appreciate it. This was great. All right. Have an awesome day. I'm going to go ahead.
You too, man.
All right.
We love meeting you, John.
Manimal. It's John Manimal.
Yeah.
Beneduce.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We out here.
All right, brother.
Later.
All right, man.
All right. Peace.
Peace, man. Hey, guys. If you like the content, like, share, and subscribe. See you at the top.